I feel amazing and I look amazing. I am amazing. Okay, so I've just applied all my face makeup, my foundation, my concealer, my contour, my blush, and I did do my eyebrows. They don't look perfect, they never do look perfect, but they are getting better. Anywho, the topic of today is my bronze goals palette, not my eyebrows. So let's get on with it. I did forget to mention that the 35G bronze goals palette is actually limited edition, so it won't be around forever. So I'm so pleased I got it when I did. So here it is again. And I'm thinking that I will do a matte shade first. I kind of like shimmers more than mattes, but I definitely need to expand my horizons. So I'm gonna chuck this one on because it is the lightest matte shade. There are 25 shimmer and metallic shades and 10 matte shades. So they don't give you very many options for a transition color with the mattes. So the one I'm going to apply first is called Sandy, so it's this one, and I am going to pop that on with just a big fluffy brush. So this is the first time dipping into this palette. I'm so nervous. It's so pretty, I don't want to destroy it, but I have to try this. Okay, so I do have a mirror beside me, so if I'm looking away, that's where I'm looking. So I'm just going to pop that colour just all over my lid and see how that looks just on one eye. Okay, so that's okay. I didn't want it too dark, so maybe I won't push into the pan as many times because I was quite heavy-handed. And again, this is the very first time I've ever used a non-drugstore palette, so I need to get used to the fact that this might be a lot more pigmented than anything else I've ever tried, so I need to keep that in mind. So all I've done is I've just patted on that colour, and it's actually spread just beautifully, and I haven't rubbed it or anything. I'm just patting it on, and so far so good. I wish that they had a lighter shade to begin with, but this is the only shade, the lightest shade, sorry, they had in there, so this one will have to do. Okay, so next, that's looking good so far. I'm quite happy. So next, I'm thinking, because there's only 10 mattes and they're all quite brownish shades, I'm going to go straight into the shimmers, and I'm actually going to dip into this one here, and that one is called For Sure. So this one here, For Sure, that's the next colour that I'm going to try. And I'm thinking that that one will be a crease colour. So I'm just dipping it in, and because this is a metallic, it's probably going to behave differently. There's been absolutely no fallout whatsoever so far, so that's really awesome. I haven't primed my eyelids either, so that's definitely something that I will have to try out as well, just to see how they perform, how differently they perform on a primed eyelid. Eyelid primer is just a new thing for me. Well, everything is, isn't it? All this makeup, everything is a new thing for me. So, you know, I was applying foundation with my hands only a year ago. So I'm still extremely inexperienced. But I have learnt so much just by watching other like influencers and makeup artists on YouTube, and like what I have learnt in the last year is just phenomenal. The amount of information out there is mind-blowing, and if you ever need to learn anything, YouTube is the place to go. Yeah, so like that's blended in just lovely. I'm just going to pick up my compact mirror, get a closer look. Actually, that has blended in like beautifully. I'm just going to touch that up a little. And I'm actually going to pick up the brush from the first colour. I'm not going to put anything on it, and I'm just going to blend out that line because there's a bit of a line there, but part of that's actually my eye as well. It's a bit of discolouring in my eyelid, so it's not actually the colour streaking or anything. That looks really pretty. I'm loving this already. Okay, so the next colour that I think I'm going to pop, I'm just going to do some more in my inner corner, and then I'll go back in and I'll fill in up here because up here needs a bit more colour as well. But I want to deepen this inner corner, so I'm just going to go in with the shade next to this one because it's just a touch darker. So I'm going to go in with that one, and that is called, wrong way, that one is called Hotness. So I'm going to go in with Hotness just on that inner corner, just to deepen it up a little bit. And I'm just going to use this little guy, and I'm assuming that how you use your makeup brushes is subjective, and I'm not exactly sure if I'm using the right brushes for the right thing, but as long as I get the right, like the same result, it shouldn't really matter. Does it really matter? As long as you're getting, you know, something that you think looks nice, then I don't think it matters if you're using the correct brush or not. That's looking pretty, and so far so good. So far I'm absolutely loving these colours and this palette. The quality really does show. Like, I'm blown away at how different these eyeshadows are applying compared to everything else I've ever tried. So I'm definitely sold, and I probably will never buy another drugstore palette again, to be honest. Now, I think that looks pretty good actually. Now, I am going to go back in with that first colour. What was that first colour called? For Sure. And we're just going to fill in just that little area just there. And I am learning to sort of not stroke it as much, because that's how you get a heap of fallout in this area. It sort of flicks it. So I'm really trying not to, like, it's an old, you know, old habits die hard, don't they? So I'm really trying to stop doing that. But sometimes if you see me do it, it's because I've forgotten that I'm stopping, okay? So no judgment, because I know that I'm doing it, and I know that it's causing a lot of shit around here and in the corners. So so far I'm really happy. Oh, the other thing, I was going to use my Jeffree Star brushes, but after watching another video, I'm just like, with somebody used their brushes, and I'm really worried that these deep colours. Bloody phone rang. It always rings when I'm filming. Anyway, where was I? I've lost my train of thought again. I was in the middle of deepening the outer corner with that shade Hotness. So I'm just going to continue to deepen that outer corner, and it's all blending in just splendidly. I'm so happy. I know I keep saying that, but you really do need to understand my perspective. Like, I've never used a palette of this quality before, so for me, this is a major thing, and I'm just having an absolute ball. I love it. So what do you think we should do next? I think, let's have a closer look. It's all looking nice and blended out. Give you guys a closer look. I think what I need to work on now is just this area here. And I'm definitely going in with a nice light shimmery shade. So I think I'm going to go in with this one. Now this one is called Tropics. And it's such a pretty colour. It's probably, so far, just looking at the palette, it's probably one of my most favourite. But that's just because I'm not really familiar with darker shades yet. But I'm starting to explore darker shades. So I probably will have a new favourite in no time. So I'm going to just use a little packer brush, and I'm going to dip into this one. Where's my camera? Tropics. And I'll just try it dry first. I'm just going to pat it, and it picks up a little on the brush. I'm going to try it dry first and just see if it needs to be wet, because I'm not wanting to do like a half cut crease or anything, which I know that some of these shimmer shades need a bit of concealer or something underneath just to brighten it up a little bit. Now this is the first shade that's actually given me, there's a tiny little bit of fallout. Nothing that you can't fix with the brush and a bit of, powder foundation after. But it's definitely nothing compared to what I'm used to, fallout wise. The cheaper, anyone that has used the cheaper foundation, it's not foundation, it's eyeshadow. Anyone that's used the cheaper eyeshadow knows that they're messy and they just go everywhere. So far, so good with this little guy. There's a little bit there, but like I said, nothing that we can't handle and get rid of when we're finished. Now, I'm thinking this is looking stunning. Oh my gosh. I don't think I've ever had eyeshadow on that looks as gorgeous as this is looking. And I'm applying this shimmer shade, Tropics, dry. It's stunning. I haven't put any setting spray on that brush. I haven't used any concealer to cut any crease or half crease or anything. And that is there. That colour is there. That's pigmented as fuck. That's awesome. I'm so happy. I'm so happy. Oh my Jesus, I'm so happy. Now, I think I'm just going to quickly I'm just going to dip back into that first colour, Sandy, and I'm just going to quickly just buff out that top a little more because it was looking a little bit heavy. And I'm just going to buff it all out. And so far, that's pretty awesome. Pretty awesome. Now, I do have to do under here, the underline, and I think that I'm just going to go back in with, actually let's do something different. Let's do this one down here under Tropics, and that is Hey Vacay. Hey Vacay. So I'm just, these colours are extremely, I'm just going to do it here. I might see if we can do that. Extremely pigmented, and they're so soft and creamy. And I'm seeing now, just after one use, why people, prefer to spend a bit of money, because quality really does matter. That's looking really pretty. And it's just, you know, the only problem is, like, when you can't afford something, you can't afford it. And you do have to use what you can get your hands on and what your budget allows. But if you're in a situation where you can afford to spend a little bit more on your cosmetics, I'm going to tell you right now, do it. Because I have no idea how to do my eyeshadow, and I'm loving this right now. Loving myself, and I'm loving this, and it's making me feel good. And in a world full of hate and fat shaming and all of that sort of thing, if you can make yourself feel good, why wouldn't you do it? I mean, it's not that much. This palette cost me $36 Australian, and I got 35 shadows, like 35 shades for $36. And I also used the 10% off code James from James Charles, his discount code, and I got 10% off. So, you know, you cannot complain for that kind of money. I'm just going to use that same little brush that I used, and I'm just going to do something like way out of my comfort zone, and I'm going to pop the green on the inner here and in the inner corners. The green is called, oh, So Golden. Well, it looks green to me. It's here. It looks green, but it's called So Golden. So, yeah. So golden, so yeah. Well, you know, we'll see how it goes on the skin. It could be more golden on the skin, but in the palette, to me, it looks super green. I think this one is probably more one that you would need to wet the brush. It's definitely going on there, but it's not what I was thinking it was going to be. But it's definitely going on there. So that's fine. That's totally fine. I just wanted a little pop of colour, which you can't really see on the camera, but it did what I wanted it to do. And I might actually use a different brush, and I'm going to go back into that So Gold, and it's really not picking up on the brush very well, this colour. I wanted to pop it in. Yeah, I think I might wet my brush with this colour. Just going to use a bit of setting spray, just a bit of setting spray, and I'm going to go back into that So Gold with a wet brush to see if that helps to pick it up. Yeah, it's there. It's definitely there. I'll do it on this side. You can see in the camera better because my lighting's shit. So you won't be able to see on that side because of the shadows. But heck yes, I love it. Oh, the shadows really make it hard to see. But I'm thinking that's my new favourite colour. That's So Gold. That's bomb. I'm actually going to drag it up a little too. I'm super happy. I'm so happy. Oh my god. Okay, so I think that I'm done with the eyeshadows. I'm loving this. What I'm going to do is I'm going to jump off. I'm going to do some eyeliner in my waterline, and I'll pop on some mascara, and we'll come back and have a look and give you my final thoughts. Okay guys, so this look is completed. I am beyond happy with how this has turned out, considering I am not, you know, I have no idea what I'm doing, but I managed to create this, and I did that on my own without any help, and I am so proud. I feel beautiful, and I don't have enough words to describe and explain to you how freaking happy I am with this palette. The 35G Morphe Bronze Goals palette, go out and get it. It is the best thing ever. So yeah, I don't know what else to say except, you know, I could cry. I'm so happy and I feel so good. I think that looks awesome. Like, in all, you know, I don't care what anybody else says. That to me looks beautiful and I love it. And so yeah, I don't really have much else to say except I'm happy and I would recommend this palette to anybody. You know, good on you, Morphe. You've done some awesome things and I'm definitely going to buy some more. Now that I've, you know, experienced one palette, I'm going to have to buy more so I've got different colour stories. Because I'm going to be wearing it more often. When it makes me feel this good, I'm going to start wearing it more often. Definitely. But it definitely highlights, you know, the fact that my eyebrows are not great. So I definitely need to get, you know, more serious with my eyebrows as well, because it sort of really does emphasize my eyebrows. But I don't give a shit. I do not give a shit. I feel amazing and I'm really happy. This guy. Yeah, love it. Have a great day, guys. Yeah, go out and do something kind for somebody, because if you make somebody else feel good, it's going to make you feel good, I promise. Bye. I bring you outside just so that you can see how they look when you're outside in the sunlight. I feel amazing. I really do. You know, I've never felt this good when I'm wearing makeup. And I just can't stop looking at myself. Honestly, I love it. But yeah, this is how it looks outside. And I feel amazing. And I look amazing. I am amazing. Yeah. See you guys.